Hi, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Machak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops at Great Millstone. I'm your brother, Rabbi Knapp, coming out with a lesson. Lord's will, this is edifying to the Lord's elect. Now, I didn't set anything up. I'm just going to go through the spirit, but after watching a bunch of brothers' videos, I don't even know where to start, so let's just check the news real quick. U.S. police believe Savannah Guthrie's missing mother is still out there. Trump says he won't extend nuclear arms treaty with Russia. 3 killed as vehicle crashes into grocery store in Los Angeles. U.S. and Iran talks to begin as fears of direct conflict continue. Now, I'm going to get into that. Trump says Bondi directed Gabbard to attend Georgia raid. Coldest air of the season, snow to hit parts of the Northeast. Let's get into this. Let's see, U.S. and Iran talks to begin as fears of direct conflict continue. I know they were supposed to go to Iran in, I believe, Oman or something like that. Let's see what it says. This is from the BBC.com. This under the picture says the U.S. negotiators will be led by Special Envoy Steve Witkoff on the left, while the Iranian team is headed by Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi. I don't think I'm saying that right. Senior U.S. and Iranian officials are expected to meet in Oman later for direct talks amid a crisis that has raised fears of a military confrontation between the two countries. And you know, the only reason why you be going to war with them is because of the people who wear those hats. The discussions come after a U.S. military buildup in the Middle East. In response to Iran's violent repression of nationwide anti-government protests last month that human rights groups say killed many thousands of people. You see, it was always something. If it wasn't that, it'd be something else. They were always looking for a regime change in that place. You're sitting there bombing them, and then you're talking about their protesters and all that. Esau's just full of shit, man. He's full of shit. I just have my respect for Esau. It's just I never really had respect, but it's like it's hard to even. You gotta really watch your tongue because you're talking about an abomination, and you're in a backwards world. So it gets harder to hold your tongue and really just. He's stirring up. He's getting to that point, man, where you just want to smack him. You just literally want to smack him. Uncertainty over the location and scope had threatened to derail the talks, which are part of a diplomatic effort by regional mediators to de-escalate tensions. Well, the tensions are going to escalate because we have prophecy to be fulfilled. All right. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but they're going to war. They're supposed to be talking, but I don't know. They're not going to talk. Let's just get into Google. Is U.S. still going to talk to Iran this Friday? Because that's the latest I learned about that. It says senior U.S. and Iranian officials are expected to meet in Oman later for direct talks amid a crisis that has raised fears of military. So they're going to go. And that's what I was reading. I didn't finish it. I just want to hear, yes, they're going to talk. Okay. Both countries remain far apart in their positions. The hope is that if successful, the discussions could lead to a framework for negotiations. They're not going to negotiate. Okay, there's nothing to talk about. He wants to denuclearize you. He wants to fund your enemies. He was giving deals arms to Saudi Arabia. He just came up with another deal with Israel. Trump signs a deal for $600 billion with Israel. $600 million, I should have said. Based on recent reports, the Trump administration in 2026 has focused on significant military support for Israel rather than a $600 billion deal, As of January 30, 2026, the U.S. approved approximately 6.67 billion, not 600 billion, that's crazy, in arms sales to Israel, including Apache helicopters and tactical vehicles. A $600 billion investment figure reported in 2025 was related to a deal with Saudi Arabia, not Israel. Okay, so I'm getting my numbers mixed up. So he got this $6.67 billion deal, but he's trying to talk peace with the government of Iran. You don't think they see these deals? It was a simple search away for me to look it up. That imagine what these people know. And that's not. And then they just said right here, 600 billion with Saudi Arabia, not Israel. So 6.67 billion for Israel, and then that's 6.67 billion for Israel, and then 600 billion for Saudi Arabia, and that's both of his enemies. So what's there to negotiate? That's why he's posturing in a way where he's down in the dungeon to somewhere deep, and they holding all their resources, and they're getting ready to bang. I just watched the video with Full Spectrum, and he did a great video talking about how the Iranians, they know they can't really win a war against America, but they're able to. They think they can sit it out a lot longer and have it destroy itself from the inside out, because a lot of people are not going to be able to suffer the way he hits you with cyber attacks and things like that. You know, you people going to go crazy. You know, so this is why it's good to watch these things so your mind's prepared for all of that. Especially if they shut off the power, the heat in your house. If that ain't, that's probably gonna go up. These data centers and shit like that. There's so much going on. Data centers. Do I have any precepts on this? Let me just see what else I remember talking about. Data centers. Dallas. News. AI boom boasts Jacobs data center semiconductor pipeline. Texas considers revisiting some data center grid approvals. When data centers are powering Texas's next era of growth. Dallas is biggest, something like that, I forgot. As of early 2026, the Dallas-Fort Worth area is experiencing a massive data center boom. Actually, no, not data centers in Dallas. I meant to put, not data centers. I forgot how you call them. Not data centers, but immigration centers, something like that. Dallas. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. ICE reportedly plans major U.S. detention. That's what I meant to say. Detention center in Dallas 6 days ago. Let's look this up. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement is reportedly planning to outfit a 1 million square foot distribution hub in North Texas into what is expected to be a detention center for up to 9,500 detainees. So, this is what the type of detentions, this is the type of shit that they're building. This is to lock people up here in America, and they're going to be building these all over the country. The government agency is considering an emptied industrial facility in Hutchins, Texas, a city about 10 miles south of downtown Dallas, for a so-called mega detention center. That's what it's called. According to the Dallas Morning News, citing internal ICE documents. So ICE is buying this shit up. So they're leaving 700 people supposedly leaving out of Minnesota, but that's only to get back to building this stuff. Majestic Reality Co. developed the Hutchins facility on a speculative basis in 2022 and sought to lease it to a major distributor, but years later the facility remains vacant. Majestic Realty did not return multiple phone and email requests from CoStar News seeking additional information. So they like, what are you doing with this big ass building? They don't want to answer. But we know what they're gonna do with it. It's empty. It's nothing to put bunk beds and those cheap ass mattresses in here and fill this place up once they have the right um, um, environment. When pestilence, civil unrest, all of these things where they can start locking you up in bulk. At this time, we have no new detention centers to announce. An ICE spokesperson told CoStar News in an email. Even so, with the Department of Homeland Security conducting law enforcement activities across the country, the spokesperson said it should not come as news that ICE will be making arrests in states across the U.S. and is actively working to expand detention space. So that's what they're doing, man. More detention centers, more data centers. Data centers are secure, centralized, and climate-controlled physical facilities that store, process, and distribute massive amounts of digital data and applications for business and internet services. So they're going to need a lot of power in order to power this digital infrastructure. The elder from Houston was going into it, and he was describing this scene that I saw in a movie called the movie was called, not a movie, it was Black Mirror, where they were riding tricycles to power up something. And that's hell, man. They're taking away your jobs. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some jobs like that. And then, the way he was explaining it was, you'd be able to, they made it seem like it was a benefit to you to work like that. It was like you didn't really have to work. They're giving you a universal basic income. You're going there to work, but you're really working out, but you're powering the beast. So they're using your physical labor in order to power the beast. And then that's all going to accumulate to the point where you have to take the MOTB in order to eat. So, all these things are in place. And if you're not aware of these things, then, it can catch you off guard. Just want to see some news. Yes, massive data center construction is booming globally, driven by AI, with nearly 3,000 new U.S. sites planned and global capacity expected to double by 2030. And we're in 2026, so this is right around the corner. It's being built in front of your face, featuring huge investments from tech giants like Google, Amazon, and Microsoft in locations such as Texas, like I just saw, Indiana, and Asia. Major projects include massive AI facilities in Louisiana and Texas, supported by investments in infrastructure, land, and energy to meet the huge compute demand. So, just imagine. And then once he's fully complete, whoever don't take his chip, he's going to put your ass to death. All right, so all of these things are simultaneously happening. And we know this is all biblical prophecy, and it's good to be aware of these things. I'm going to start off in the book of Jeremiah 49. Just going. As a matter of fact, I should have got this in the blue letter. Jeremiah 49. Points in 20, but I want to read up. See where prophecy against Edom. Let's just read 49:7 to 22. As a matter of fact, they don't got the G and T in this, do they? Nope. Can I add G and T? Reset trend, copy from Bible Stack. Just see if they got it. They got it. I'm downloading it. Nope. No GNT. They got the NLT, but We can get it in the GNT. Jeremiah 49 GNT. Let's get it. Jeremiah 49:7. Okay, it says, "This is what the Lord Almighty said about Edom." Edom is Esau, the so-called white man. "Have the people of Edom lost their good judgment? Can their advisors no longer tell them what to do? Has all their wisdom disappeared?" And that's a good question, because you look at him now, he's supposed to be the wisest. You know, you let him tell it. He's the smartest. You know, you can't get better than an Edomite. But it's not making this place better, man. It seems like he's doing everything that's leading to his destruction, especially when it comes to the scriptures. It's all leading, every which way this devil goes is leading to prophecy, and there's no way he can escape it. You know, the Lord said this place is going to be thrown down. He's trying to build it up. That's a snare. Lord said he's going to go into the valley of Jehoshaphat. He thinks he can stop it by blowing up people's nuclear sites. That's just a snare. He think he can come up against the nation of Israel. Another snare. He's trying to violate your constitutional rights, get to take away your freedom of speech. That's another snare. That's all leading to prophecy. Because once he starts doing these things, the Lord's going to be working to get his prophecy fulfilled. He's not going to be doing this forever. Okay, we at the brink of all these things coming to pass, and if you're not watching, you might get caught off guard. It says, Jeremiah 49:8, "People of Dedan, turn and run, hide. I am going to destroy Esau's descendants, because the time has come for me to punish them." So them's talking about the Edomites. It's time that they get punished. And we're starting to see them being punished by them protesting against each other. That's Satan casting out Satan. Okay, more civil unrest, more civil war. They start going to war with Iran. They're threatening cyber attacks. They think they can win this fight by just playing the long game. While you bomb and do all this stuff, they can send out more propaganda. And you already see cracks within the interiors of Babylon, with people coming up against each other. So you can see that escalating, especially when people have to get sent to go to war. No one's going to want to have to join a draft and all of that. Okay, they're going to do massive damage to Iran, but they're going to be deep down underground. So the landscape might be destroyed, but the whole power structure is still in place. And you know from previous failed foreign diplomacy, this nigga don't know what to do when it comes to these other nations. He wasn't even successful in Afghanistan. Now, Iran's not Afghanistan, man. They're way more advanced than them. When people pick grapes, Jeremiah 49:9 in the GNT, they leave a few on the vines. And when robbers come at night, they take only what they want. But I have stripped Esau's descendants completely and uncovered their hiding places so that they can no longer hide. All the people of Edom are destroyed. Not one of them is left. Leave your orphans with me, and I will take care of them. Your widows can depend on me. Yeah, that's right. You're going to be destroyed. All right? We'll take your widows. Don't worry about that. If even those who did not deserve to be punished had to drink from the cup of punishment, do you think that you will go unpunished? No, you must drink from the cup. So those who didn't deserve to be punished are the Israelites. We weren't supposed to drink of the cup, but we drank of the cup, which are the curses in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. And he thinks he's not going to be punished for committing sin against the Lord. He's out of his damn mind. I myself have sworn that the city of Basra will become a horrifying sight in a desert, which is America. Basra is the capital city in Edom. Okay, but it's talking about America. People will make fun of it and use its name as a curse. All the nearby villages will be in ruins forever. I, the Lord, have spoken it. So this is, I, the Lord, have spoken. Okay, so that means it's prophecy. I said, Edom, I have received a message from the Lord. He has sent a messenger to tell the nations to assemble their armies and to get ready to attack you. So the Lord is getting these nations ready to attack him. The Lord is going to make you weak, and no one will respect you, and he's already weak. He's coming up against weaker nations, so he looks way more powerful. He just took the president of Venezuela. He's talking shit to Cuba. He just sat down with Gustavo from Colombia, coming up with deals. So it looks like his plan's working, but he ain't really coming up against those who really matter. Venezuela's not in the prophecies of the book to do anything significant in these last days. But Iran is, Russia is, China is, Europe. These are the nations, even Israel. So him coming up against these other nations that are prophesied to help with his downfall, he's trying to avoid that. Even though he's doing preemptive strikes, as he calls it, it's all part of the snare. The fact that you're attacking that land shows you that the Lord's word is true. Jeremiah 49:16, your pride has deceived you. No one fears you as much as you think they do. You live on the rocky cliffs, high on top of the mountain. But even though you live as high up as an eagle, the Lord will bring you down. The Lord has spoken. So you up high, no one can mess with you, but the Lord is designed it to be that way, where he's going to take you down and get all the glory for it by sending his son over here to destroy you. And not only just you, the rest of the heathen nations, y'all going to click up together to fight up against them. The Lord Yahweh said the destruction that will come on Edom will be so terrible that everyone who passes by will be shocked and terrified. When you see this place being burnt up, you're going to be shocked and terrified. But the way it's going to be destroyed it's going to be shocking and terrifying. Okay, over 200 million missiles hitting this place. That's pretty shocking and terrifying. That's never happened before on the earth. And you're going to witness it. Some of y'all, a lot of y'all are going to feel it. But other nations who are not here in Babylon, they're going to hear about this place. They're going to feel the earthquake. This is going to be a great day. This is something that's never going to be forgotten ever. Okay. Jeremiah 49:17, the Lord said the destruction that will come on Edom will be so terrible that everyone who passes by will be shocked and terrified. The same thing will happen to Edom that would happen to Sodom and Gomorrah when they and the nearby towns were destroyed. No one would ever live there again. I, the Lord, have spoken. So no one's going to live here in Babylon, America again, once he destroys this place. Okay. Like a lion coming out of the thick woods along the Jordan River up to the green pasture land, I will come and make the Edomites run away suddenly from their country. Then the leader I choose will rule the nation. Who can be compared to me? Who would dare challenge me? What ruler could oppose me? So listen to the plan that I have made against the people of Edom, and to what I intend to do to the people of the city of Teman. Even their children will be dragged off, and everyone will be horrified. When Edom falls, there will be such a noise that the entire earth will shake, and the cries of alarm will be heard as far away as the Gulf of Aqaba. The enemy will attack Basra like an eagle swooping down with outspread wings. On that day, Edom soldiers will be as frightened as a woman in labor. So, I missed it, Jeremiah 49:20. So listen to the plan that I have made against the people of Edom and to what I intend to do to the people of the city of Teman. Even the children will be dragged off and everyone will be horrified. Okay. So that's going off a little bit, because that's where it says in Jeremiah 49:20 that the least of the flock shall draw them out, which is talking about Israel. But he's saying the children or something like that will be dragged off. Surely he will make their habitations desolate with them. But when you read it in the KJV, it makes more sense. Jeremiah 49:20. Because, Esau is in control of these. He's trying to mess the word up as best as he can to cause confusion. Some of y'all don't read the KJV because of the way it's written. So you'll go into the GMB. A lot of people like the NIV, NLT, ESV. So because they hate the words, not hate it, but they don't like the way, they don't want to go into the old English, but this is the closest translation you're going to get. So once you understand this, then all these other Bibles are pretty much going off from the KJV. The KJV already has enough mistakes as it is, that you got to go through the Spirit to receive it. There's a lot of stumbling blocks. But the Spirit guides you. The Lord wanted it to be just like this, where things have to be disputed. There's gray areas. That's how He preserved this word. There's a lot of spirits on this book that prevent people from actually obtaining the knowledge, even if you speak it to them. Jeremiah 49:20 in the KJV. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that He have taken against Edom, in His purposes, that He have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely He shall make their habitations desolate with them. So the least of the flock is talking about the Amalekites drawing out the Americans into a war with Iran or anywhere in the Middle East. He gonna drag him out there to go to fight. Okay. Surely He shall make their habitations desolate with them. So Israel and America is gonna be destroyed. And the Lord's going to use these different issues in the world to bring about that destruction. But I'm going to end it here. Lord's will, this was edifying. Shalom.